Hi everyone, wanted to share a trade from this week as well too. I'm going to do my real estate stuff here next. So if you're waiting for real estate stuff, look for that to come up here soon. But going into the trade, I actually made 59.836% on a trade here today. And I wanted to show you in the spreadsheet how it's set up. We're looking at the XLE energy index. After Saudi Arabia announced that it was going to be cutting production because of its economic outlook, what it's concerned about, oil started tanking. There's no rationality for where oil is at right now, but it is what it is. And oil started tanking. And so in the index, in the XLE index, you can see that it broke down yesterday. It broke down across the channel. So this was that first breakdown from us. And so I knew that if the index was breaking down and Exxon Mobil is the #1 stock in the index, then it may make some sense to be shorting oil. And this was at the close or around the close yesterday. So I quickly ran through Exxon's data set. There's Oxy. Oxy was breaking down too. Okay, that's just confirmation. I kept my Oxy shares. I'm keeping my Oxy shares. It's like Apple shares. I'm keeping Oxy. There's more to the story. So then here again, too, looking at ExxonMobil in the spreadsheet, it was in the process of breaking down too. Notice this 0.8294, and then it printed negative across the channel. So I went in and I gambled because I don't like thinking short. I usually get crushed when I think short or think the market going lower, because people only think of the market going up. It's just a natural thing. Everybody always thinks about the market only going up, but the market does correct. So I went in and I bought the 95 before the close. I bought the 95 puts, actually it was about 1 o'clock yesterday, I think it was, something like that. I bought the 95 put, and that's here. I bought the 95 put at $2.44. And I bought 200 or 2 contracts of the put because each contract's 100 shares. So I bought 2 at $2.44. I didn't put a whole lot of money in. That was only $488. Because again, I'm still learning. I'm still teaching myself. I don't want to put a whole lot of risk in place. I just don't sleep well with risk. And I knew that I was going to be carrying this overnight. Now, at first, when I bought it for $2.44, I had actually put in a sell in there right away, a sell for $2.80, $2.85 actually. And when I knew that I was carrying it overnight, then I went in overnight and I changed it to put a limit sale price of $2.90. But what happened, because oil sold off going into the open today very, very, very hard, it dropped to $83 a barrel. So what happened then, the traders then came in and valued the put, the 95 put, valued that at $3.90 on the open. So because I already had a position in place, put a limit of $2.90, and the trade was $3.90, automatically that got triggered at my company that I use for this. And so I was able to sell my 2 contracts for $3.90 each. So what happened then was that the difference between $2.44 and $3.90 is $1.46. So I had a $1.46 per share gain, and I had 200 shares, which was a $292 gain. Now, it only cost me $488 to place the trade. And so if you do the math, if you take 292, your gain divided by your cost, 488, then that gave me a gain overnight of 59.836% that triggered right away at 9:31. Time frame here, date and time. It was actually 9:31 a.m. It triggered right at the open. So I made really good returns off of following the spreadsheet And taking a little bit of a gamble, I don't know why there's blankness there now. There's not supposed to be blankness. Oh, I might have touched my cursor or something, so let's go ahead and get that fixed. We will just pull this back down. Yeah, the spreadsheet is pretty archaic. It just is what it is. I went to try to upgrade it, and they said that my Apple computer just doesn't have enough RAM in it, so then I had to go over to the Dodge dealership and buy another RAM to be able to get my computer fixed. There goes my light. So anyway, but that's how I ended up thinking short, and how that short actually ended up working. But now, is it still time to be shorting oil? No, it's not, because we had a strong rebound day. 94.14 gives us a positive day here. You'll see as I focus back in, 0.9985 is a caution, 0.9998 is a caution, but 0.8331 is actually pretty strong. So we'll have to see what happens with oil. And if we look at our breakdown, what we were expecting is that Exxon Mobil to either break down 92.83, 93.92, somewhere in that range. And it did. It broke down to 92.30. It over-accelerated down. Then all the traders realized, wait a second, we sold it off too much. And they rallied it back to 94.14, which is at the high end of this range. So, and that's why it got its positive for today. So tomorrow, can we go short? There is no data set. We are still working short on it. And the index is still short. But we have no data set to be able to give us 100% definitive that the trade is short for tomorrow. It could be long from here for a while. And our long could be all the way up to $99.77. So we do have to be careful, because if we were to go short and it goes long, we could be crushed pretty much like a bug. And we don't want that. So we always want 100% trades. So we knew we had 100% trade yesterday, went in there and did it, and actually made far too much money on it, the 59.8%, because we got lucky. I was trying for 18% and I ended up making 59%. Not a bad thing. But that's today's trade on how that worked. What I'm seeing in the market as well too is we had a little bit of a bounce today. We're still in a dead man's bounce. We can be selling off lower. We have to wait for more data. One day does not a market to rally make. And that's all that we had for today, was just one day. It was a one-day bounce. We'll have to see what happens for tomorrow. Already indexes for tomorrow are looking a little bit negative, and we'll have to see whether we reboot back. So time will tell. There really is no trade for me to be able to make for tomorrow so far, and I don't really have to worry about it for tomorrow. But thanks for watching. Enjoy your evening.